Bright, are you going to do the introduction, or I should do my own introduction?
I'll send the student home. The madam is finding it difficult to join, so let me get back to her. Madam
I
Gloria, she's
if
finding it difficult to join the teacher's own, but I've
then she can
sent that of the student. So let me.
you can send the students to her, and maybe she can use it. Probably,
Okay, I'll
I'm not
send
too sure.
the student home. Okay.
Yeah, I can see they are joining. I have seen already 4 of them online. Do you want to do the introduction, or I should do the introduction?
Uh, you do, but I'll add up a lot. I'm coming.
And you start, and then I will take over from you. That will be better.
Oh, okay, okay.
So, Nestor, it seems your network is not all that the best. I'm not sure because it keeps freezing.
Are you on
Hi
it?
there. I can hear you guys. Say right.
Yes,
Are you with us here?
yes,
Please,
I am.
can you start with the introduction and then I will follow up
Okay,
with it.
so can I know because I can't see any student around here.
No,
So I thought,
they are not on the studio. They are on the screen. I see 32 of them already joined. So let's begin. You will
oh,
not see
okay.
them. They cannot join live. We are in the studio and they are joining and receiving the feed like you are in a television studio, and then your students are watching you on their televisions at home. So that is what is happening right now.
Oh,
And
okay.
there are
Okay.
35 of them already here.
Oh,
So
okay.
whatever you are saying, whatever you are doing, they can hear you and they can
Oh, I
react
see.
with their comments. So please, if you have joined and you have questions in the course of the presentation, you can always send your questions in the comment section. So please, let's carry on. You can do the introduction
All
and I will
right.
take over.
Okay. Um, um, our beloved students, good evening once again, and welcome to EB Education Consult in partnership with Masterclass Online Educational Consult for this unprecedented studying abroad workshop. Um, as for me, you know me already. You know my name and you know what I do. Your math teacher. So I'm part of the organizers or moderators. Then we have Miss Gloria Fum. She will join us later in the studio and as well as Nestor Akom Edu. So our facilitator for this big program of which a lot of parents are even yearning to take part. And I know they are taking part in their various homes. The
That's great.
facilitator is someone who taught me. He taught me as a student when I was in JHS. He prepared me to go and sit for my BC. Don't forget, I was a school prefect, and he was my he was my science teacher, one of the astute teachers I've ever come across. And I'm so happy and happy and happy where he is now. He's now an engineer. So he's by the name Engineer Enoch Boating, aka Fergestoni. As for that name, I will not hide it. Fergestoni. I so he will tell you much about himself. But one thing I want you to know is he's a dedicated teacher. and he has all the links. So if you want to start studying abroad, then you need to pay 100% attention. He's my teacher, my mentor, my everything. So please, I'm creating your indulgence. I'm entreating all of you to pay attention, listen to whatever that he has for all of us, and prepare your questions, which is geared towards studying abroad. Don't bring any question anyhow. You know me. If you bring any question which doesn't relate, I'll quash it. So all that I can say it. He's an astute engineer who taught me years back when I was in the JHS. So, Sir Fergustoni, I'm done. So you have
Thank
the
you
floor
very
and you
much.
can also add up.
Thank you very much, Masterclass Online Educational Consult. I really do appreciate the opportunity given me to interact with your students and also to give them some guidance when it comes to study abroad. Actually, the last time I told somebody that I taught you, they thought that I am so old. I'm sorry, I'm not too old. I was quite young when I started the teaching profession, and yeah, I am a professional teacher. Um, I taught, I actively taught until 2008, and then I went back to UCC to pursue my bachelor's in the field of general agriculture. I completed in 2012, and following that, I gained the Czech government scholarship to come to the Czech Republic to pursue masters in natural resources and environment. Following my graduation, I continued to pursue PhD, which is the terminal degree for all academic pursuit. So I currently hold a PhD in applied zoology, and within this study, I focused on how to um, um, I focused on some kind of disease we call neglected tropical diseases. It is commonly one of them is commonly known as bilharzia in Ghana. I investigated how to ensure effective control of this disease. Um, Having lived abroad for 9 years, pursued my master's and PhD all on scholarships, I have gained adequate insight into the nitty gritties of study abroad, and I have been providing some tips to guide students or prospective students who are interested in studying abroad so that they will be able to uh, get the insight and be able to prepare and apply adequately. So when your teacher Bright Osei Echampon contacted me, I was delighted to facilitate this workshop and also provide you with the opportunity that might not be common to you if not through this workshop. So thank you for joining and thank you for making this come true. And now I will start with my presentation. Please, if you have questions, don't forget to put it in the comment sections. Along the line, you can put your questions in the comment section, and when I am through with my presentation, I will take your questions one after the other. Thank you. So, study abroad. I mean, what is it? And it's basically, as you can see from the name, opportunity to study out of your home country. You can study in Africa, you can study outside of Africa, Asia, Europe, United States of America, Canada, Australia, so many destinations that can be um, considered outside of your home country as a study abroad destination. The experience is quite transformative. And when I say transformative, I say so because it gives you a broader perspective, a broader view of opportunities, challenges, and stuff that you might not gain insight into if you were to study in your home country. You come across different cultures, the way how things are done elsewhere, different systems and institutions, quite different from what you are used to in your home country. So, combining this experience and even the academic environment can be quite different from what you are used to in Ghana. So, considering all this, they offer a holistic, transformative experience to anyone who engages in this journey. However, despite it being transformative, there are several challenges, or it can be quite challenging. Challenging in terms of funding, challenging in terms of cultural adaptation, challenging in terms of rigorous academic requirement, challenging in terms of becoming an independent person outside of your culture. In some cases, it can be very demanding in terms of fulfilling certain requisite um, academic requirement. In addition to working and paying for your expenses where necessary, it is demanding because sometimes you are not used to the terrain, you are not used to um, the academic environment of that foreign country, and so you are required to put in extra effort to cope with the situation. Apart from um, the academic demand on your part, you are a foreigner, you need to meet immigration standards, you need to renew your visas on time and all that. So all this put together brings the challenging and the demanding aspect of study abroad. But trust me, it can be very fun and very, very fulfilling. And I always advocate that anyone who would have the opportunity to travel and study abroad should do so. And if it is within my power to help everyone to have an experience studying abroad, I will do so. But it is not within my power. Whatever else I can do to ensure that people are informed about this, I do. And so I have dedicated my channel from which you have joined, showcasing some scholarships that are available, giving tips, necessary tips that can guide you to put effective application for studying abroad or even for scholarships. And today we have another opportunity to interact in guidance of how to prepare for your study abroad, what you need to do, what you don't need to do, and how to seek scholarships. If it becomes necessary to organize subsequent session for specific details, we can do that. But today, let's dive into the preparation for study abroad. Preparing to study abroad. First of all, you must define the terms under which you want to study. And when I talk about the terms under which you want to study, you must define whether you want to study on scholarship or you want to study tuition free programs or universities, or you want to study in affordable universities where even if you do not get scholarship, you can still afford to pay the fees. The fees are not too outrageous. Or you don't mind as long as you get admission, irrespective of how much it costs, you are ready to pay it. You must define these terms because defining these terms will also guide you to narrow your search when it comes to searching for the opportunities to study abroad. It will help you narrow down the search. The second point that you should consider is to define your study destination. Do you want to study in Asia? Do you want to study in Europe? Do you want to study in United States of America, Canada, Czech Republic, Germany, Australia? Whichever destination you are choosing, you must factor a lot of things. Are they going to provide you with scholarships? Are they allowing students who are not on scholarship the opportunity to work at a stipulated number of hours so that they can earn something and cater for their living expenses? Are they having a strict immigration requirement, which can be very difficult for students to meet and to obtain visas? Are they speaking English? That will make it easy for you to cope with the language demand. Or even if they are not speaking English, do they have affordable tuition compared to some countries that are English speaking? All these things must be put into consideration when you are deciding the destination of choice. You might as well find if the study program you intend to study are offered in that country, and if they are offered, in which medium are they instructed? Are they instructed in English? Are they instructed in the local language? For example, in most European countries, almost every university program offered in the local language is free. So let's take Germany for instance. If you are going to study in Germany and you are going to study in German, it is free, it is tuition free. You don't have to pay anything. But that comes with extra requirements, which I will talk about moving forward, because you would have to uh, prove that you can speak German and be able to understand the language accordingly during the time you would be instructed. In the meantime, Bright, your student can also send you the questions directly if in case they cannot put in the comment section, so that as time
Oh,
goes on,
okay.
you can ask along the
Sir,
line.
please,
Okay.
may I know how many students are on the platform now?
It's fluctuating between 65 and 70.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. So,
65 and
students, please, you
70.
can send your messages to me as well, and I'll push it to him, or you can also send it directly to him.
To
All right.
the comment
Thank
section.
you.
Yeah, welcome. And then the third point to consider is the program you want to study. So you see, if for example you want to study public health, you want to study medicine, you have to determine whether you want to study medicine on scholarship or not. If your sole purpose is to study on scholarship, then you find which countries can offer you medicine on scholarship. If you want to study business and you want to study business in an affordable institution, you have to look at which countries, which universities and in which countries they offer affordable tuition for students, a tuition fee for students. If you don't care about scholarships and you don't care about the affordability of the tuition fee, then you just need to make sure that this is the study program I want to pursue. I want to pursue mathematics education, and I can get it in USA, and it's easy to even apply and get admission to USA. And also maybe it's easy to get the visa to travel to USA. So I'm going to consider USA. So all you would have to think about is the destination and the program of interest. And finally, about preparing to study abroad, the consideration you have to make is when you want to embark on this journey, when you want to start your studies. Uh, with my experience, I have realized that some people usually think of study abroad as an afterthought. It just dawns on them that I want to study abroad, and maybe by the time they decide and even contact you, deadlines have already passed and they have to wait another time. So I believe and think that this is a very nice opportunity that Bright has brought to you people, masterclass has brought to you people, to get informed about this so that you can even prepare yourself prior to completing your studies, because there is a lot of preparation that you need to put in place before you start this journey. I have a cousin in the USA, and she is second year college student, I would say second year university student, but for her, her ultimate goal is to get into medical school. And whilst in the second year, she wrote all the medic exams required for one to apply to medical school, and she did several applications. And through this, she got all the schools, all the medical schools she applied to. And interestingly, she has 2 years to finish college, but she already has admission to study medicine in 2027. Do you see how advanced she had planned and gotten admission, so that immediately after college, she goes straight into the medical school without having a break or a gap in her education. So if you want to study abroad, let's say next year, you have to start preparing maybe a year or two in advance. You have to know more about where you want to go, what you want to study, what are the requirements and stuff. So it is very key to establish these four cardinal points in your preparation to study abroad. Having done all these three, all the previous four, now we come to do's. What are you supposed to do on your part as a potential student seeking study abroad opportunity? Now you have to research your destination thoroughly. Where do you want to go? What is the weather like? How how multicultural is the place? How do they accept um, um, foreigners? What are the immigration requirements? Is it easy to access um, travel documents to go to this place, or let's say visa permits? How easy is it for students to cope with the academic situation? Are there enough international students that you can? So you have to make thorough investigation about this, int- about your destination, their tuition fee, and everything that will go into your studying in that particular country or destination. The second point is to set out your finances early. Imagine, and by this, I know that most of you are not going to be responsible for footing your expenses. Maybe your parents will. So you discuss with your parents. I want to go and study medicine. If medicine in let's say in Cuba, if Cuba is not offering medicine on scholarship for Ghanaians, how much will it cost? And probably with this at the back of your parents' mind, they can start investing or saving towards the cost, the living cost, the tuition cost, the plane ticket, and all that. So this is an important step to take, or something that you should do. Improve your language skills. Depending on the destination you decide to travel, some of them will take a certain um, WASI score for Ghanaian students. For example, in Canada, if you are going to pursue undergraduate study programs and you have scored, let's say, C, whatever, B, whatever, A, whatever in English, and you are going to study in English, you are not required to provide any extra English language proficiency. Your WASI score is enough. However, in the United States of America and some other countries, that will not be enough. They will still require you to take some other exams we call IELTS, uh, international IELTS, International English uh, um Proficiency Test. So, and then they have the TOEFL, Test of English as a Foreign Language. You have to prepare for them. So you decide if you want to study in 2026 in USA and they require you to have TOEFL, and usually the shelf life of these exam scores or records is 2 years. So you can write it a year prior so that you would already have the requirement, and not when the period that you want to go and study, that's when you are going to write it. In case you fail, then it will mean that you have to wait another year or so to apply. So you should know much about this. The fourth point is to research your program thoroughly. You will research the program, know the program requirement, know the admission requirement for that particular program. Do you meet these admission requirements? How is the teaching like? Is it a program where the faculty members or the teachers are well vested in it? Is it a program that would make life easy and comfortable for you as an international student? You should read about the program on the university's website, and if there are some international bodies, organized international bodies or platform, try to find out more from that. You can also reach out to study coordinators or program coordinators to inquire more about the program in case the information you read about on the website is not sufficient or clear enough for you. You can always write an email to the study coordinators to learn more or to uh, inquire for specific information. You should also prepare important documents. And what I mean by important documents is that you know that you want to travel, and one of the essential requisites for traveling outside of Ghana is to have a passport. And during the application process, you are supposed to even provide your passport number. You are supposed to write your names according to how they appear in your passport. So if you don't have passport and you are thinking of studying abroad this year or next year, you are already almost late. So as soon as you conceive the idea of studying abroad, it will be very necessary for you to start getting your passport. Um, you will need other documents which I'm going to talk about in later in subsequent slides. So check what are the documentations required for the study program, for visa application, and for traveling. If you have all these um, documents in these three categories, you are sure that you are halfway prepared to take on the journey. You should also understand the academic expectation of that country. Um, in that case, if you understand the academic expectation of the country, it will get you prepared to see if you are able to meet the expectation. For example, in some countries, they will offer you opportunity to write a particular exams 3 times. If you fail 3 times, you are done. Um, all the three times you are done. For some countries, they give only one opportunity. If you fail, you are done. Some maybe two. Um, if you are going on a scholarship, what is the expectation for you to maintain that scholarship, and all the related academic expectation you should know about. Also, you should understand. Oh, okay. I already talked about the academic expectation. You should make connections before you arrive. As I said, um, for some universities, once you apply and you get admission, they have international groups or country specific social media groups where you can join and pry about what you should expect when coming and all that. But make sure that the person you are contacting is credible, so that you save yourself from being scammed. And you should prepare yourself to embrace cultural differences, because, for example, one distinct difference you would notice is that when you are dealing with certain people with um, different background, especially for with the whites, keeping an eye contact when talking is deemed as being honest and speaking the truth. Whilst in our culture, looking into the eyes of another person and talking to them will suggest that you are disrespectful and all that. So you should know that there will be some cultural differences and cultural shocks. Sometimes how their transport system work is even a whole different thing. You don't go, if you don't get there on time, you miss it. You have to wait for a certain time, and if you don't make if you are not careful, you will miss a lot of appointments, or you'll be late to several things. So all this you must know. And also, finally, on the dues, certain universities and countries, before they would even process your visa, you should show proof of accommodation. So it is important that during the application process, you would also integrate uh, um, provision for accommodation, so that you don't get there and be stranded. I remember, um, I think, was it in October or September? I was on campus and I met one Indian lady, and she was so frustrated. Why? Because when she applied to come and study and got admission and also got accommodation for on the university campus, she was supposed to make payment for the accommodation prior, and there was a date, a specific deadline for this. However, she probably didn't read well, or she misunderstood something and decided to only come, and once here she'll apply. By the time she came, the accommodation was not available anymore. It has been leased out to another person. So she had to stay in daily hostels. And she asked me if I can direct her to some places for accommodation. God being so good, I took her to some of the accommodations that were likely to have space. They asked her to come the following day, and later when I inquired, she has had accommodation. But for the first few days, she paid so much for the hostels and was a bit stressed because it wasn't realistic for her to be paying and be staying um, in the hostel. So please, this is an important thing you should do in the course of your application. If you can't secure, you can even inquire from the international office of the university what are the arrangement and plans for accommodation and all that. Don't think that you get there and you would settle this. It can be it might be too late for you. And then the don'ts. I say that you don't have to overlook the timelines and deadlines. Always make sure that um, you are working within given timelines and you are meeting deadlines. If possible, get the whatever you need to do done even before the stipulated deadline. Don't wait until the deadline before you rush to do things. In that case, if you make a mistake, you may not have opportunity to correct your mistake, and the deadline will elapse. Also, do not ignore universities and application guidelines. Some set specific application guidelines, and that you should read thoroughly, ensure that you understand what you have read and follow them accordingly. If you do not understand, write email to inquire about it for clarification. Also, don't involve intermediaries that are not recognized. Unless you are employing expert agent to work on your applications and stuff for you, don't go for any roadside person who can scam you and take your funds and not do the work you want to do. In most cases, some universities might have a registered agents that they work with, and if you work through them, you are safe to be sure that everything is legit, and you don't have to be scared about nothing. Um, don't forget to seek guidance from appropriate source. Like if you think that Sir Bright, Sir Nestle, Madam Gloria are experienced in certain areas and you are lost and you need guidance, write to them and then ask them for direction and help, the necessary help. I'm sure that they will be more than willing to help you, as long as they have the knowledge or connect you to the right person to to help you with your application or to guide you with your application. Also, again, don't hesitate to seek clarification from the universities. I have already mentioned that. Now, this is the most important topic for me, about scholarship, because I know what it means to study on scholarship and how helpful, beneficial it can be to the international student as compared to someone who is not working on scholarship and needs to pay their expenses and everything, um, whilst trying to meet high academic standards. And I'm saying this from first-hand experience because when I came for my master's and I was fully funded, covered, everything covered. So my first year, I decided not to work. I was getting, so the grading system is one, two, three, and then four is fail here. I was getting one, 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 one first year. When I don't, when I get two, I even become worried and I am like not happy. And then I have colleagues checks who will get three and they will be so excited. And I didn't understand why until I started the second year. I said, no, I let me work after all. What? I started working, and sometimes you are working night, you close, you come to the lecture hall, and when they are talking, you are sleeping. And then I started scoring two, three, two, two, and few ones, and you can know the difference. So I think that by all means, if it is possible, studying abroad on scholarship is the best. However, I must be quick to add that if you cannot get scholarship, because scholarship is very, very, very competitive, very competitive. If you cannot get scholarship, that should not deny you of the opportunity to study abroad. There are other routes, alternative or pathways to come and study abroad. Like I have said, if you want to come and study in Czech Republic, probably you can spend 1 year to study the Czech language and get the maybe B1, B2 level Czech, German language, B1, B2 German, Czech, uh, Finnish language, do Finnish language, do it, and then you can come and study for free without the tuition fee. Mostly it is the tuition fee that is expensive. As for the accommodation and other expenses, you can manage it in your own way, and hopefully um, it can be another way. Also, depending on your funds, you can decide to find universities whose tuition fee are cheaper. Sometimes in the same country, some universities and programs are cheaper than others. And if your hope is to have a study abroad experience, you can explore this option outside of scholarship. There are also scholarships which are not full but partial. But now let's talk more about scholarships, because I feel like if you're excellent student, or if you put in the right effort, um if you put in the right effort, you can save your parents and yourself the stress of having to pay tuition fee and even living expenses. There are some scholarships that can even take care of your flight ticket to and from your study destination. So you should target the scholarships. But if those scholarships are not available, you can still use other routes that are possible for you to study abroad. So the first point here is to search and identify suitable scholarships. How to search for these scholarships? First of all, I am happy that you are joining using your internet and using a social media platform. All you need is your internet, your time, and Google. When I administered the questionnaire, some people want to study art, some people want to study medicine and stuff. All you need to do is to search. For example, you are going to be an international student. You are from Ghana. You can search uh, medicine scholarship for international students, undergraduate studies, or undergraduate scholarship for Ghanaians, and you would find a lot of them. But then again, I know that some of you are not very experienced and all that. So you can subscribe to some um, channels which provide update on available scholarships and all that. And since in the past I was focusing more on masters and PhD studies, but since Sir Bright introduced you, I even decided to prepare a session on undergraduate scholarships in the USA and how to apply for them. So I started that series, and I'm going to continue with undergraduate studies in other different countries where you can follow and then prepare yourself. It doesn't matter whether you are in final year, whether you are in second year, or whether you are in first year. When you start, the earlier you start, the better. In Akan language, there is a saying that Oshasie Brunsua Entemwa Enewenebre. So to wait, it's when you begin swimming early, that is when your eyes turn red. So if you start your approach and your preparation from the first year or the second year, by the time you complete, you might have already found something. And when you are searching for this scholarship far in advance, it helps you to know the demands, the requirement, and also adapt your academic accordingly. But then I will go details into that. For now, what I want to say is that Scholarships, there are categories of scholarships. Some scholarships are merit based. When I say merit based, it means that it meant for maybe certain academic excellent people. Some are need based. Need based means that if you have some financial needs that your current economic situation cannot afford, then you are eligible for that scholarship. Or it can be specific, sorry, country specific. So there might be some scholarships available for Russians, some scholarship available for Ghanaians or sub-Saharan Africans. So you have to search well and see which of them is suitable for you. You can search by also checking um, university website. If you have an idea, a range of universities you would like to attend, eventually you should check their website to see if they have some scholarships for the program you intend to study. There are also government scholarships that you can explore: Japan government scholarship, Australian government scholarship, Czech government scholarship, DAD, several scholarships. And also there are some private NGOs. Some scholarships are even specifically saying that women or girls are encouraged to apply. So during this search, you must look at all the categories that maximize your chance of um, getting sponsored, and not just any scholarship. When you open the scholarship, you have to read the eligibility criteria to see if you fall within that criteria. And once you don't fall within that criteria, you don't have to bother yourself go doing anything extra. Yeah, now too, you should understand the scholarship requirement. Each scholarship has a unique a credibility criteria. For some academic performance, they may state that you have to have maybe minimum of C6 or C4 or B3 to get that, or let's say 80% of on the scale of 100%. So you should know the specific GPA criteria required for it. Some scholarships, and not just some scholarships, most of them want to see that you were involved in some important extracurricular activity, like you took leadership role, you volunteered on some work, you provided some community service. These are very key. So my dear ladies, I will address you as ladies because you will soon be ladies, or you're already ladies. It is important that whilst you are in school, any opportunity to volunteer, any opportunity to extend some form of community service, any opportunity to get involved in the leadership roles, you should not neglect it. Make good use of them, because when you are writing your CV, you can use this to enrich them. When you are writing your SOPs, you can emphasize this, because the universities look out for some of these apart from your academic excellence. Um, for example, in the USA too, they require you to write SAT. You should Google and check it. SAT. It's a required um, test, standardized test that they will want you to exhibit for undergraduate studies or undergraduate scholarships. Um, Financial need. So as I said, some are need based. So you should find out how much they're gonna give, and what criteria they use to assess your financial need. And this might not be so much about you because you are beginners and you are not into research, but it says how your research will align with the scholarship objectives. Certain scholarships are aligned with specific research, so you have to demonstrate that if I am going to study business and I want to look at corporate uh, task or something, how is that scholarship going to support this research that I want to conduct? These are very important questions you should ask yourself. You have to maintain academic excellence, and as I have said, academic excellence is the backbone of every scholarship. Every scholarship has a certain criteria for GPAs or for your WASI results, whatever you will call it. So they may not give a certain scholarship to people who are not first class student or second class upper student. And when you don't make that GPA or you don't make that grade, you are out. So if a scholarship expects you to have 6A and you are not putting yourself in a position to have 6A, you are already out of that scholarship. So know the requirement and maintain academic excellence accordingly. Again, the standardized test is appearing here. Some of the countries, irrespective of you learning in Ghana in English, they will still require you to provide um, English language proficiency test exams. And so you think about it, you prepare and write this far in advance and make the exact points they want you. And some scholarship requires math or science Olympiad achievement. So those participating in the science and maths quiz. I know you all cannot do that, and it's just a few of them that might require this. But whenever you have the opportunity, just make good use of it. You may never know how it will help you to obtain a very luxurious scholarship. Trust me, when you have scholarship and everything is catered for by the university or your study program department, you will save a lot of time and even perform better. You would have the peace of mind to focus on your academic excellence. And somebody, while someone without scholarship is going to think of, when is this lecture going to end so that I will go and work and make some money? So please, scholarship is very competitive, but it's worth it if you put yourself in a position to attract it. Um, for you should build strong extracurricular profile, and I have told you about this, so I'm not going to bore you. But there are also some skills needed which might not be taught in your class, in your usual 3-year SHS study program. So if you can learn that outside your school system, try to learn it. And you may know what extra information, extra skills, or knowledge you need if you read about the particular scholarship you need to apply to. And so, the earlier you think and act, the better. And then again, participate in competitions and conferences when available. And I know you are being groomed to be future leaders, so you will not hesitate to take part in competitive programs in Ghana. Um, Craft a winning scholarship application. During the scholarship application, there are certain things. There are certain documents you need to prepare. One of them is personal statement or statement of purpose or motivation letter. I'm not going to go deep into this because I don't want to take too much of your time, and so that I can take some questions. But I'm going to organize another session on the how to write these personal statements and motivation letters and statement of purposes. You have to tell your story. You have to tell why you want to study this particular program and how it will help your future career, etc. What skills, what knowledge you have that you think will make you uh, succeed in the program you are applying to once you are admitted, why the particular why why that particular program? Why do you want to study medicine or biomedical science and not this? Why do you want to study this university? The essay must contain all this. The essay must highlight your leadership skills, your resilience, and your contribution to community, as I was saying. So it is very important. Also, you must have personal relationship with your teachers, your head of departments, and all that, so that they will know you and write personalized recommendation letters for you. Some of the scholarships I have encountered, they show how they score people, right? Your academic excellence might be 40% or take 40%, your recommendation 20%, your personal statement 20%, other curricular activities 20%, making 10%. So, sorry, making 100%. So, if you would have a, a friendly, accommodating teacher who can give you excellent recommendation letter, you're already scoring 20% there. So, don't think that this is not necessary. There are some people who want me to apply for scholarships for them. They are excellent students, but they can't even get recommendation letters. They have been out of school for quite a number of years, and they didn't have that relationship with specific lecturers who can provide them with the recommendation letter. Whereas I left university some 12 years ago, I still have contacts of some of my lecturers back in Ghana that whenever I need some um, assistance with recommendation, I can always fall on them for such assistance. You would also need to craft a great CV or resume. At your level, CV is not so much required because you have not worked so much about and to talk about your work experiences, and probably the most important academic milestone you are going to achieve is your um, WASI. So I think most applications for undergraduate studies um, do not require CV, but whenever it is necessary, you have to write something about yourself. It should cover your academic achievements, extracurricular activities, leadership roles. If you got any award in your university, in your secondary school or senior high school, you can um, add all of them. And then in case you need to prove your financial need for need-based scholarships, then you have to show your bank statement, the kind of job your parents are doing, and all that. Number six, you have to prepare for scholarship interviews if required. Some of the scholarships will ask you why you want to be offered this scholarship. You have to watch and practice some common interview questions, and also you have to be confident and articulate your passion clearly when there is the need for you to prove through interview that you deserve the scholarship. You cannot, you may not know much if you don't find out more. So use the necessary platforms, groups, and contact the right people who can give you guidance and show you the best way to learn about some of these things. Again, um, I would re-emphasize that scholarships are quite competitive. Don't think that you are the only person applying. People from India are applying, China are applying, Taiwan are applying. Everywhere around the world, people are applying. Nigerians are applying, Kenyans are applying, South Africans are applying, and all that. So they are competitive. If you search, look at where you have higher advantage, and also don't just apply to one. You can do multiple applications so that your chance of getting sponsored is maximized. They say you don't put all your eggs in one basket unless you know that you are top there. Like you have 100% academic excellence, you have 100% leadership, you have shown 100% leadership and extracurricular activities and all that, and maybe you know whom you are going to compete with in the scholarship um, competition, then you can just put in one application and relax. Otherwise, it is always advisable to put in multiple applications to maximize your chance. And then you have to so different universities and scholarships have different application deadlines. And so if you are going to do multiple applications, you should prioritize them. Those whose um, deadlines are closer, you start applying to them first. And always when you are doing this application, always tailor your you should always tailor your application to suit specific requirement of the scholarship you are applying to. Let's say you apply to Michigan Tech University and you wrote you applied to business administration, you prepared um, statement of purpose and all other things to suit business administration. And then you have seen another scholarship in, let's say, um, Harvard University, and it's economics, and you want to apply to this program, you would have to rewrite your statement of purpose or your personal statement to meet the requirement of then the economic program you want to apply to. Don't use the same application document to for multiple scholarship applications, because different scholarships might have different requirements which you have to indicate in your statement of purpose. I mean, for for your certificate and um, transcript, what we call transcript, you cannot change it. It's it's fixed. But for sometimes even for your CV, you might want to alter it, modify it to highlight what they are looking for in specific scholarship you are applying to. Always seek guidance and feedback. I am here. People write me, say, can you check my CV for me? Can you check my statement of purpose for me? Can you check this scholarship if it's the best or if I qualify and all that? And I do it as long as I have the time to do that. You don't have to come to me. You have to find another person who can check your information, documents, and give you some direction and stuff. You may want to belong to some platforms um, that are that have people who have knowledge and experience, and they are sharing this. You may contact a mentor, a teacher, or someone who has received a scholarship before for guidance. And then you can also get your essays and application reviewed by someone who is experienced. If the person is your parent who has a higher experience, knowledgeable in a certain field than you, go to them, right? Do something yourself and let them check for you. And by doing this, you will learn. You can also contract um, an expert in the field of study abroad to help you go through all this in case you cannot do it yourself. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, so I think this brings us to the end of the section, but I have time to take some questions from you and I have already received a lot of them here. So I'm going to attend to them one after the other. Oh, Nestor, you are here.
Yeah, I'm here.
Sorry, man.
Oh,
Because
I did.
I was sharing the screen, so I couldn't see that
Uh,
you were in the studio, so I,
oh, I
I
did. I
couldn't
did. I
ask.
did. I did enjoy the thing. Rough, 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 rough.
How did it go?
Oh, Charlie, very powerful. Charlie,
Thank you. So
lot of doubted questions have been answered through your seminar. Lot of questions have been answered. But there's one question I need to ask. So when the time you call me, then I'll ask that question.
so now I am available for questions. I'm going to take questions from the comment section, but also
Okay.
I'm gonna take questions from you from the studio first before I go to the online questions that have been posted here. So next, please, you can go ahead and ask your question.
All right. Good evening. Good evening, my dog. I salute once again.
Good evening, sir.
The whole school authorities, that is every girl senior high and its students are so much grateful about the insight, the exposure you have given us. We are so much grateful. God richly
Thank you.
bless you. Mm.
Thank you.
The first question I want to ask, okay, I have only one question to ask for now.
Mm-hmm.
That is, the moment you apply for a scholarship, oh,
Mm-hmm.
sorry, if you apply for a school,
Mm-hmm.
let's say, let me be specific. USA, you have gotten admission to
Mm-hmm.
maybe Illinois or New York State University or something. You have gotten admission.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Everything is set. Is
Mm-hmm.
it automatically that the moment you get to the embassy, they have to give you the visa? That is the question. Hmm.
No, it's not automatic that once you got admission, they will give you visa. You have to impress them during the visa interview. And actually, talking about this, I have extensive live session on it, and uh, it's on my YouTube channel right now. So maybe after this, you should try to look at. You have to impress them with the visa interview. Um, Sometimes they have the notion that some people are just using the admission to go to US and do other things. That's why they will have to
Okay.
organize the visa interview.
Okay.
And I have experience where my wife got uh, admission, got partial funding, show proof of 3 times or 4 times the amount they are looking
Wow.
for, and yet she was not given the scholarship. Sorry, she was not given the
Giving the
visa.
visa.
So, so I assembled some Ghanaians who are already in US doing masters and PhDs who have already obtained visa. Some of them were denied maybe 2 or 3 times. Some of them got it first try because he has read and listened
Mm,
to a lot of
mm,
stuff.
mm, mm.
And I brought them together to look at their experiences and from engaging with the embassy and other people, what they think the visa officer is looking for during the
So,
interview and
mm.
how to help people meet this requirement. So I have almost 2 hours or maybe a 2.5 hour session on the US visa application. What do
Oh,
you need to know
okay.
about it?
Okay. So what happens to the fees that you have paid if you are denied a visa?
So if you in for US specifically, they don't require you to pay tuition fees in advance. You
Okay.
can even get a visa and go there before you pay.
Okay.
But for other countries, let's say for Canada, sometimes they ask you to pay non-refundable commitment fee
Mm,
of so so
mm,
and so, or
mm.
a commitment fee of this which is refundable upon you being denied visa.
Okay.
Yeah, so you should
Okay.
read carefully and know more about it before
Okay.
you
Sure.
you put in
Thank you.
that money. All
Thank
right.
you
So
so much. Mm.
So, Kwame Sapon, good evening, sir. Actually, this
He's
the
not.
comment.
She's not Kwame Sapon. Oh. She has a. She has a. She has a name. Her name is not Kwame Sapon, but always she's using Kwame Sapon. She's a lady.
She's
Okay.
Susie IEC or something something. Susie.
Susie.
Uh, Kwame Sapon is the father.
Kwame Sapon.
Okay, so probably she's using the father's account. That's fine.
Yes.
That's fine. So there is also Nasara Adam. I don't know if you know the person, but probably also other people are joining. Uh, but let me. She's saying, "Sir, please add. Are there any option for athletes?" Yes, there are a lot of options for athletes, uh, especially in the United States of America. Mostly, some athletes, depending on how good you are and what the university is looking for, in what kind of athletes the universities are looking for. You can leverage
Mm.
your athletic abilities to attract scholarship. Yes, 100%. So, as I said, extracurricular activity. If you know how to run and show it, compete, and have proofs that you are this, and you can. That alone can offer you opportunity to study on scholarship. Um, this name I don't know how to pronounce it. Gil Koki. Which country gives more scholarship opportunities to African students? Wow. Whew. This is quite a difficult question because I have not specifically categorized the scholarships they give to how many scholarships they give to African country per uh, specific countries. But I think that um, most countries, so yes, most scholarships from various countries are for um, international students who are coming from sub-Saharan Africa or developing countries. So, what I advise students is that um, you should search your scholarship using some keywords, and when you do, the scholarship, irrespective of the country, would pop up. And if it is not a country you are looking for, then you can look for another country. Can I apply for multiple scholarships simultaneously? Yes, I think this I said it, that you can apply simultaneously, and that is Kwame Sapon again. So great. Jessica Napari. Are there specific website that give you the specific requirements to study in your choice of destination? Yes, there are specific websites. There is a Opportunitypedia. There is a DAD scholarships. I think also indicated some in my slides. I gave some scholarship names. You can also search. f- let's say if you have in mind the university you want to attend and the program you want to study, you can search that university site for scholarship for undergraduate students, and then all the scholarships available there would appear. Yeah, some scholarships are full scholarships. So for full, this is coming from Selom Herman. Um, how is housing and feeding covered? So some scholarships are full scholarships, which means that your stipend, sorry, your tuition fee is taken care of, and then they provide you monthly stipend, or they would quote it annual stipend. And by annual stipend, I mean they give you some monthly allowances, and with this allowance, you may pay your housing from it, and then buy food, transport, your health insurance, and others. So uh, I think I have answered that. Does proficiency in multiple languages, particularly bilingual, constitute a factor or advantage in scholarship application? And this is coming from Sichope Atiga. This question is not coming from this is not coming from a secondary school student, but it's a good question. Yes, right now I have um, one scholarship that I have shown on my channel. It's called Erasmus Mundus Scholarship for Global Studies, and that scholarship actually, apart from English, requires that you have knowledge of at least uh, some basic knowledge of at least an European language. It could be German, it could be any other. So, yes, it helps a lot, especially if you are looking to study in Europe. And besides that, other personal advantage of being bilingual or knowing a foreign language is in the fact that um, if you are to work here in Europe, mostly they are looking for language proficiency for certain work. And once you have the language proficiency, it doesn't matter whether you studied agric, mathematics, or whatever, they will train you on the job to know about the job. But then, if you are going to serve German clients, you need to know German. If you are going to serve Swedish, you need to know. So, bilingual, I hope you are not talking about Ga and Akan. But yeah, I know that I understood your question, and that was really a great question. Do scholarships also cover one's accommodation? Yes, you can get scholarships that cover accommodation. I have already stipulated. But there are also partial scholarships, and some of the partial scholarships might take care of only your tuition fee. So know the coverage of the scholarship you are applying to, and then um, understand it before you apply. Otherwise, you may apply for partial scholarship and it will not cover your accommodation or living expenses. Are there any recommended resources or website to find scholarship opportunities? You can find a lot of them right from this channel. I am also going to put a link. I'm going to put a link to a WhatsApp group. Um, the WhatsApp group I created so that I share tips and scholarship opportunities on this WhatsApp group. You can join it and then and be you will be updated on available scholarships. So let me quickly do that. Oh, I am putting the link here in the comment section, so please check it out. And I would also share with Sir Bright. Sir Bright, I'm gonna share the I'm gonna share the link to the WhatsApp platform to you so you can share with your students or whoever will be
Okay.
interested. After
Okay,
this,
I will do that.
I would also put it in the description so that you can identify it. You can identify it there. Let
Okay.
me quickly take the questions because I
Okay.
have a lot of questions here and time is not really on our side. Um,
Okay.
wow, there are a lot of questions, man. Ah, okay. Please, when you do get the scholarship, can you, for example, go the following year or defer with every scholarship or differs with every scholarship? Yeah, some scholarships when they give you, you are supposed to take it that particular year, and the difference will not be allowed. But others will, or it can also be assessed case by case on case by case basis, which means that you will need to write to the university and explain reasons why you cannot take up the scholarship now, and if it makes sense to them and they are able to defer it for the subsequent year for you, you can take that. Great, great, great question. I like it. um Please, what if you are not so sure about the course you want to offer? Seek guidance. Seek guidance. And also, I would advise that you just don't go for a course because there is scholarship for it. You might regret. You must have passion and all other things
Exactly.
for taking that program. So please take note about that one. How does one cope with educational structure of the country he or she got the scholarship from? You will cope. When you get there, you will cope. There are a lot of us out there coping. It can be challenging, as I said, but don't live in isolation. You will not be the only international student there or the first international student to get there. So seek guidance. I have already enumerated this. Talk to people who have gone ahead of you, and get direction so that you don't get lost. No, and also familiarize yourself with the system and all that. Some people may take a while to adapt to the system, but it's all good. You can always make it once some people have already made it. Best country to do IT. Wow, IT is broad. These days, AI and it related fields are emerging, and even when you see scholarship being advertised for health related programs, they are looking at AI in health and stuff. Broaden your search. First, like I said, you can search. If you have preferences in terms of the destination, you can search using the keywords of the country. So IT scholarship for IT programs in Luxembourg or Switzerland or Germany or Czech Republic, wherever it is. Um, you have to check, but yeah, I think that in every country you can have a scholarship. You can have scholarship for IT related programs. Are international students required to stay in hostels upon arrival? Um, it depends on which country you are going. Um, when I started my master's on scholarship, first year, first year I lived in a hostel. At a point in time when I got a job and I started working, after 1 year, I moved out to rent my own flat. And then I came back to hostel, and during my PhD studies, which lasted almost 6 years, I I didn't live in a hostel. So it depends on the financial muscles and how much the scholarship is offering you. But if you want to save cost, student hostels are the cheapest you can afford. But sometimes these student hostels, you don't have a room to yourself. You have to share with others, and your privacy might be invaded. Some might even interrupt you when you want to study. I remember in one small room that we lived, I had a Malian, and I had a roommate from Mali, and she had one Oyibo girlfriend from a village, and this lady came staying with us for weeks and months. And even this guy doesn't clean the bathroom, and the girl doesn't do it either. So there are disadvantages that come with living in the hostels, but if you want to save money, probably that is the cheapest. What is the next step after being awarded scholarship? When you are awarded scholarship, you claim it, you follow the necessary procedures to require require to obtain visa, and then you go. That's what I did. when I got a scholarship. So when the scholarship is offered, some of them you have to write to accept the scholarship. And when you accept the scholarship, um, you process your visa and go. And in most countries, when you are offered scholarship, it's quite easy to obtain visa. In most countries, I didn't say in all countries. Please, what is the best country for studying engineering? Every country have something, but again, I cannot dive into specifics. But for example, Switzerland is good, USA is great, a lot. I cannot mention them. Just search, and if you want to, it depends whether you want to, and even within the countries, it might differ from one um, university to another university. So that's a broad question. I cannot honestly exhaust it, but it depends on how well you search. You will find something. Please, what is the best country? Oh, sorry. Please, what is so there's another question about studying law. The same answer I gave for engineering holds here. Will there be a chance for a needy but brilliant student to get scholarship? Hell yes. I already indicated that some scholarships are merit based. And when we say it's merit based, sorry, need based, it means that the person is in need of financial support. So that is one good criteria for getting scholarship, but you need to prove and show that you need a scholarship. Please let me put the charger because my battery is running down. Um okay, so what are the kind of support what okay, what kinds of support can I get from the scholarship provider or institution regarding visa requirements? Also, when you are offered scholarship, um, which means that it communicates to the visa office. For example, for mine scholarship, right? It was the Czech government scholarship. So once they passed me from the interview at the embassy, I didn't even have to apply for a visa. They provided everything, and I was there. They told me your visa is ready, come for it. So they can. But in the United States, when you are offered scholarship, you still have to attend visa interview, and you need to prove. But when you have a scholarship, it shows that you are not going to be a burden your finances and stuff, and it also shows that they need you for sure, because the scholarship is not just given to anybody. You have something that the university needs, so you can leverage that to get your visa. But you need to prepare to impress the visa officer, so read more and stuff. But yeah, the high scholarships allow for a higher success rate in obtaining visa. um Please, does applying for scholarship require students who has a result alone or test are supposed to be taken? Yeah, I stated it. Depending on where you are going, Canada, Italy, other countries, they don't have any extra requirements. In USA, you need to write SAT and ACT. So take note of that. And sometimes you need to write the uh, English proficiency exams. Um, Sir, please, are there cases where the country supports you, like paying you every month? Yes, they do. I have mentioned that. Please, what is the best country to offer home economics course? If you search for home economics, you might not get anything. Nothing will come up. Home economics is more tailored for Ghana, but you can search for food and nutrition, you know, food and nutrition related, food technology and all that, and you have plethora of opportunities coming up for you. What is the long-term benefit of receiving a scholarship, bro? Kwame Sabon. Yeah, it comes with a lot of benefits, bro. When you are writing your CV, applying for job, and you are talking about you obtaining scholarships, it maximize like your your option of being scholarship is very competitive. So having that on your CV is something to be proud of, and they will see that you have something exceptional even when you are applying for jobs. It also gives you the opportunity to network and influence a lot of things, especially if the scholarships are offered to you by uh, the government of the country and stuff. It means that you have some kind of recognition in the country where you are offered a scholarship, and probably you will be successful on the job market over there or wherever you find yourself. Countries best for medicine. Um, even Czech Republic is really best for medicine, and a lot of people coming from USA, Canada to study medicine here. I think that um I cannot categorically say it, but as most of you, because you are English speakers, you would want to explore countries where English is spoken. And um, US is very difficult. They have stringent requirements to meet to study medicine, and they don't even offer a scholarship for medicine. And yes, from all my search last year, there was one guy asking me to find him a medicine program on scholarship. I couldn't find any. He's in tech now, pursuing medicine. Maybe biomedical sciences and stuff. Yes, Luxembourg, Switzerland, um, Finland. S- Sweden and all those. Germany. Yes, but yeah, in most of these countries, they teach the medicine in their local language, and if you want to study medicine in English, it's very, very expensive. Very, very, very expensive. Here, you can't even pay for 1 year. 1 year is over 250,000 Czech crowns. Let me check how much that will be in Ghana cedis. 250,000 CZK to Ghana cedis. Yeah, that is 159,477 Ghana cedis. That's a lot, bro. Your parents will not want to spend that on a year on year. I mean, maybe in some cases, but yeah, I think in most Southern American countries, studying medicine can be a bit cheaper. Ukraine used to be one of the cheapest place to study medicine, but due to the war, I can't say same for now. Ra- Rachel Kwabia, you have gotten a scholarship when you have applied to a scholarship and you have been informed that you have been accepted. Uh, please, what country is best for medicine? I've answered that. Please, what is the acceptance rate? Okay, no. Please, what acceptance rate will should we aim for when looking for fashion schools? Mm, I think the higher the acceptance rate, the better. But if your if your result is very good, if your result is very good, you don't have to bother about the acceptance rate. If you think you are competitive enough, you can apply to any fashion school and be accepted. That was from Shulamite Nku. Say, please, can you continue to live there even though your scholarship span is due? I am living here. I came in 2015 for scholarship. on scholarship and I'm still living here. It depends on the terms and conditions under which you are offered the scholarship. If your scholarship is saying that they provide return ticket, it means that when you finish, you are going back. Most Erasmus Mundus, when you finish, you need to go back. Most scholarships, some scholarship requires that when you finish, you go back. Others, once you get job in the country, you can continue to live there as long as you want. Please, do the scholarship program work strictly on foreign curriculum or some accept WASI based application? Yeah, they accept WASI based application. Please, if you apply for a scholarship for only educational purposes, will you be allowed to work alongside? It depends on the immigration rule regarding students and work. Some countries and some scholarships will not allow you to work. Some scholarship would allow you to work limited number of hours per week. In Germany, it can be 20 hours per week. In USA, 20 hours per week. In Czech Republic, you can work unlimited number of hours per week as long as you are able to meet your academic obligations and stuff. Nobody cares. You can work a full time and some part times. Nobody cares. So it depends really on the destination and their rules. So you have to read more and know more about uh, what is the obligation on the part of the scholarship recipient in specific countries. And that is why it's important to talk to people who have gone ahead of you, make contacts, and find out more information. Are there any restrictions on how scholarships fund can be used? Hmm. I think for some scholarships, yes, but mainly towards your accommodation, transport, food, health, and stuff. If you have some left and you want to save or send to Ghana to do other things, it's solely up to you. You don't need to be restricted. They give the amount to you, but make sure that it can cater for you. And if you want to save for something else, that's up to you. And some of them they will give you, let's say, book allowance, and the book allowance are meant for book purchases and stuff. So if they are allocating specific part of the funds for specific things, definitely it will go into. But that which come to you, you decide how to use it, but you have to be reasonable about it. Mm. Sir, please, are you supposed to start right after you receive the scholarship, or you can wait for some time? I really don't understand this, but yeah, I mean, it depends. You don't have to defer it if nothing is restricting you from receiving from using it. But if you have genuine reason to defer, you have to write to the authorities and ask for difference. Please, does one automatically secure a job after studying on scholarship in a particular country? You don't automatically secure a job, you have to apply for the job. If you want to study in the UK, what type of test are you supposed to write? UK, most universities also accept good English score from your WASI. So you may not want to write any extra um, uh, language test. But also, you can write A level, you can write O level. Um, if you want extra credential, yes, you can go ahead and write the English language exams. But it solely depends on which university you want to and the requirement for foreign students, especially from Ghana. Grace Opari says good work. Thank you very much. Abena Sachi, please, if you want to study in probably Korea or China, are there schools that teach in English, or it is a must to know Korean or Chinese. Um, my knowledge here is quite limited, but I know that for master's level, most some programs are in English. I know people who go to China to study medicine and they study it in English and stuff, Korean and all that. So yes, I think depending on the program and the level you want to study, you might be required to study in English or in the Chinese language. The sometimes this extra language come with some advantage. It makes it easy for you to live in the country and move about. If you want to work, it's easy and stuff. But yeah, check specifically what the language requirement. Every language, every program you want to apply, they will show the medium of instruction. If it is in Korean or if it is in English, you will know. And if you employ me, I'm gonna search for English ones for you. But yeah, or if you employ someone with the knowledge. If you have scholarship and you want to join the UK Army, what will you do? I'm sorry, but I don't have experience about this. Maybe after you finish studies, you can still join the UK Army. Or Hima Grace, you want to be a soldier. What are some common mistakes one must avoid during application process? Wow, this is a good question. Silas Jones. Hmm, that's a lot of question. That's a lot of question. I will answer. I will tackle few of them. But one, you don't have to uh, um have a general CV and statement of purpose or motivation letter for all application. You must always tailor to meet them. Always seek clarification about the program from the study coordinator or the program coordinator before you apply. And you have to be, for example, if you need to contact a supervisor in advance, you need to be professional about how you write to the person. You don't write them as colleagues and all that. Um, I think in all you should make sure that your application documents are well structured, well organized, and try to meet the deadline. But we can look in details in terms of interview. We can look at it into details, but maybe at another time if your teachers request for that. Um, say please, what is the structure of SAT? I'm sorry, I have no knowledge about it, but you can just Google about SAT and know read more about it. Are there any internship, research, or job opportunities available through scholarship program? A lot of them. Right now, I even have some sitting here that I need to make a video about how to apply. So please keep following, and I'm going to share a lot of them. If you have seen the link that I shared in the comment section, you can join our group, and when I share this, you will see them. Roda switch. Wow. Are there scholarships host which provide host families? Yes, yes, yes. There are scholarships that allow you to go with your family if need be. But it depends on which family you want to go, whether children or husband and wife or whatever. In Canada, it's quite easy. And if you check, last time I had Grace Opari and Emmanuel. They are both in Canada and they are there with their families. So you can check and see which countries are flexible on these opportunities. Rhoda. Asari, Christodia. Can a home economic student study law abroad? Wow. Ah, I don't know the core subject, the elective subjects you take, right? But always it's important to check the eligibility criteria or the admission requirement of the program you want to study and the country you want to study. If they allow, fine. If they don't, if you meet the requirement, then you can apply. Yeah. Please, after the scholarship, can you decide to change the institution for another one? If you want further studies, probably yes. Oh no. So if I now I understand your question. If you apply to University A and you were offered scholarship to study in University A and for specific study program, once you get it, you cannot change it to go and study in University B and another study program. Even in the same University A, if you get the scholarship to study program 3 and you want to change it to study program 5, it will not be allowed, or you cannot transfer the scholarship. Are scholarship are scholarship applications the same for school in different countries, or do they get more complicated depending on where you are applying to? They are not the same for all countries, and they are not even the same for all universities. So take note. And the complexity, I can't speak to that, but I think that each of them have specific demands and requirements that you need to fulfill on your part to be able to attract it. So it matters that you study more about the scholarship you are applying to, or you read more about the scholarship you are applying to. Shulamite is here again with another question. What questions can be expected from a visa officer? If you are looking for, if you are asking based on US application, please check my check check my channel for tips. I have already a recorded live version, uh, a full 2.5 hours on scholarship tips. Sorry, visa application tips for US. Otherwise, for other countries like Germany too, I have another video there, which also touches on visa application for Germany. I have same for Canada. So please make use of the resources available on my channel. Um, are we to begin writing our application before WASI? You don't necessarily have to, because you will need your WASI results to apply. But what you can do is to start researching about the available scholarships and which of them you would think you will be interested in, and prepare yourself to meet the admission requirement of that program or that scholarship. Selom Heman. Please, are you eligible for a scholarship if you have just WASI result and no extracurricular activities? Yeah, you are. Yeah, you have to try. Yeah, you have to try. Your WASI result must be very good too. But there is a way to cater for the extracurricular activities in your writing. So if it's something you want to explore, you can talk to me later and we can see how to go about it. There might be something you have done and you don't know how to capture it to be extracurricular activity. I can help you do that. So just take note. Can we return to our home country during vacation or breaks? Yes, 100%. I did that several times before I finished my studies. Sir, please, can you apply for the scholarship after you have started schooling in Ghana for about a year? And what might be the requirement? It depends. So if you want to start after you have started bachelor's in Ghana, maybe you are applying for another bachelor's program, and it will still be your mainly your WASI results that you will use, but you can also add as part of your application, your CV or application, that you are in a university. Some of them will ask you if you have completed the university or expected date of completion, and you can put it there. So yes, you can do that. Abena Sechi. Oh, that was from Abena Sechi. Believe names. Can I work while studying abroad? I think I answered that. Please, I believe, go back and watch everything. Yes, you can work. It depends on whether it's scholarship or you are self-funded person, then you can say, please, in case you are granted the scholarship, does the university sometimes pay for your plane ticket. Yes, some, not all universities. You must read that in the scholarship that your tickets are catered for. And if you check my channel, the YouTube channel from which you are joining, you will notice that I have some scholarship videos there, and I state that return air ticket. It means that scholarship offers you take care of your scholarship. Sorry, it takes it takes care of your air ticket, but if it is not stated in it, then it doesn't cover it. How long do you how long do study abroad courses last? Yeah, so it depends. If it's 4 years, if your study program is 4 year and the scholarship is for the entire study program period, then yeah, it will be 4 years. If it is masters, probably um 2 years maximum. And yeah, they would always state that. Oh, yeah. So, and if it is not scholarship, you can, some of them they come and they start study 1 year, and if it's not scholarship and they have financial challenge, they might defer. um and depending on the requirement of the country, you can work a little bit, save, and then go back to your school. Or um you depending on the duration of the study program, it can be 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years. So that is it about it. How can I increase my chance of securing a scholarship? Academic excellence, very good. Extracurricular activities, great. Strong recommendations from your teachers and lecturers, whoever is going to provide you, great. And strong statement of purpose, great. CV, but I would not, in your case, CV is not so much required. But yeah, and how to articulate and tell your story. If you if you achieve academic excellence, like say you were in the top 10 or of your class and all that, your chance, you already have about 80% chance, and then you can add the rest of stuff to it. Yeah, I think for now that is all the questions. Uh my my studio members have already left me here. So I want to thank you. I want to thank the organizers for the opportunity to interact with you. It's been quite fulfilling for me. I really appreciate the feedback, the questions that I have received. It meant that you were paying attention, you were listening, and I would have another discussion with them if they think that there are some other topics we can talk about. I also organize workshops on how to craft your application documents very well. Um, I know, I know that you are students in the secondary school. Mostly you are using TikTok and other stuffs for your entertainment. But trust me, you start building your future right from now. Because, for example, in our system in Ghana, sometimes the the study program that you take and how you perform in WASI defines which study program you can even study in the universities in Ghana, right? And right from there, you are carving a career path for yourself. So guidance and investing time in your um, career starts now. And some of us, if we had parents who were knowledgeable, who had some knowledge to guide us, we wouldn't even go winding before we get to the destination we are now. I had to go through the training college, go and teach for 3 years, go back to university, go and work for some 2 years, cocoa board and stuff, apply for scholarship to come and study masters, and then after do the um PhD. You know, and even trying to apply for scholarship to study, I had to do that for oh, about 2 years. I started the application late 2012 when I was a teaching assistant at the University of Cape Coast, and I got I got two scholarships in 2015. And within this period, I had applied for over 200 different scholarships. In UK, you will get, but they will give you half. And you know what? The full tuition is £17,000, and half, almost 9,000. I couldn't pay. I couldn't pay that 9,000. So it was useless. And so eventually, I, after 2 years, I got two scholarships and I decided on which of them was best for me and I came. We have to make the mistakes and correct the mistakes. For you, God being so good, you have visionary teachers who have sought to equip you with uh with the experience of prior knowledge, knowing about the process well in advance. So you don't have to go through the mistakes some of us went through. You don't have to learn from your mistakes. You can learn from my mistakes. You can learn from mistakes of others and use that, leverage that to maximize your chance of obtaining a scholarship or studying abroad. I'm telling you, the experience abroad is one that I would at all time encourage anyone to have as much as possible. Um, and so my doors are open whenever you feel like you need help or you need some counsel or whatever. Don't forget to reach out to me. If I have time, we can talk. And I want to once more thank you so much and your organizers for making this a successful event. So please, how much does the application cost? Oh, so does the application cost very much? I think for some you have to pay application fees, some you don't have to pay application fees. And if you are doing it yourself, it's cheaper. But if you are going to employ a specialist or an expert to do it for you, that is where you might pay more. Um, Abinasachi, please, does it mean there's low chance of getting a full scholarship? I didn't say that you can always get a full scholarship. And I think that we have almost spent 2 hours. Say Bright, what do you say?
Oh, sir, I'm very, very happy. Me, they have been enjoying it. I've been driving throughout. So, and I've been following. You have really done extremely, extremely well. And I want the students to subscribe to the channel. Please, students, if you can hear me, kindly subscribe to the channel. I just forwarded the flyer to our assistant head academic, and he is more than happy. It even skipped me. He is more than happy. So please, sir, I think we need to organize another one for the form trace. And even this current form twos, we need to organize it for them to
Okay, Bright, your internet is not so great, but I think that we can discuss because I feel there are good questions coming, but 2 hours is already good enough. Let's discuss the possibility of organizing another one to look at other aspects of the study abroad preparation, and maybe allow the students first to ask all their questions, and then if there will be something for me to add, then I would add. So yes, let's do this, and I am really grateful for the opportunity, and I wish you all the best in everything you do. I hope that one day
Hello. Please, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
I think my network, the
Yes,
connection.
yes.
So I said that you have really done extremely well. And I just sent the flyer to our assistant head academic, and he is more than happy. So I think it's going to be an entire school program. So, sir, all that I can say for now is God bless you. Thank you very much. And you hear from us.
Thank you, Bright. Thank you very much. I know you are trying to say something, but yes, let's
The
talk back.
mindset that
Go ahead.
I want to entreat all of you to start having the mindset that God willing, when you complete your WASI, you'll be going to study abroad. So please kindly have in mind. So, sir, once again, thank you very much, and you hear from us.
Thank you to and thank for to your audience. Tell them I have a lot of resources on the channel so they can really make good use of it. And the next time we meet, they can ask all the questions they have. I will give them the chance to start with the questions, right? And then
Okay.
when I answer their questions, we can talk more. I think that will be more interactive and
All right.
more lively. Okay.
Okay. Okay. So I will
Thank you.
send everything you push to me on their platform. Okay.
No problem. Thank you
Okay.
very much. Yeah.
Okay. Bye
Bye.
bye. Bye.
Bye.